Hey guys, Zach's already here. But before we start talking with Zach, I want to make sure that everybody knows I don't have to go through this every time, but I don't want to have to go through this about telling people that this is not a political channel. I don't want to have to deal with the ramifications of stuff that YouTube doesn't want to hear on my channel. I don't want to have to hear about it. So if you guys were a moderator, I would absolutely prefer if you could, we just lost Zach. I was just getting ready to add him in. I don't know where he went. Zach has went away. Well, it's just me for a second or two. He's probably going to have to go follow the link again. So yeah, Zach and I were just talking about the fact that he had a Malibu in frame as you guys were talking about the Malibu drop. So what's up, good people? Nothing. We're just waiting on Zach to log back in. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to apologize if the audio might sound weird. A lot of times I have my headphones. I do not know where my headphones are. There's Zach again. But like I said, please, like if you're one of my mods, please just like keep the political stuff out if we can. So here's Zach. Let's pull Zach up. There he is. What happened, Zach? Did you push the wrong button?
Hey man, I don't know if you can hear me, but all I'm hearing is like slow motion tiger growls on my audio from you. So I might have to hop out and jump right back in.
Okay, guys, can you guys hear me? Is the audio good? Or does it sound weird?
It's no better now. I can't even understand it. It's like slow motion. It's like that's what I'm hearing right now.
Huh. Well, that's weird. He's okay. Audio is good for both. For us, for both is what they're telling me. So I don't know. He's having a real hard time hearing me. So Blade Ogre. I have a specific question for Zach, and I can't ask him because he keeps having these audio problems. We were having no problems. That may be my stomach. It could be mine. I haven't eaten anything. I wound up at the emergency room today for a migraine and had to get an injection and then slept for a few hours. Then edited a couple of videos and did a couple 5x5. All right, Scott. How's that?
Oh, it's awesome. I left and totally closed it and rejoined.
Oh, okay. So
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll tell you what, anytime I've ever talked with you, it's always been fun. One of the nicest guys. One of the nicest guys I know. So, yeah, I had a question. So this is the question that I wanted to ask you. I was going to prep you. I was going to give you a little heads up before we started while we were talking. And I forgot because you could have told me so I could have pulled a picture up. I asked this on my Monday Night Live. What's the weirdest knife you've ever owned?
The weirdest.
Yeah. Like some people were like, oh, I had like the CRKT Malibu or Mermaid. I've had some United knives that were really, really off the wall and horrible. What's the weirdest one you've ever owned?
Weirdest. I had a fixed blade that had like spikes on the handle, but I swear it was from like a kind of a really rinky-dink store.
Yeah.
Over in the big city. But that one ended up doing something else. But it was like a weird, goofy, long fixed blade. And then, you had a full handle with like a finger guard. And the spikes were coming off the finger guard.
I had, did it have a big curved blade like a Skinner?
Yeah, it almost looked like a really long Persian kind of style blade.
You know what knife that was? That was the knife that was a replica of the knife that the bad guy carried in the movie Cobra with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that makes sense then.
So
That's probably the same time frame.
I did a knife video. Tino, my buddy Tino, has a bunch of old TV movie replicas. Like he has the Rambo 1 knife that is a replica. He has the big. You remember Billy, the Indian from the Indian guy that was in Schwarzenegger in Predator, the great big buoy that he takes and he cuts his chest with it.
Yep.
He has one of those that's a wall hanger. It's got a plaque and everything. He has the knife from the movie Solo where you push the button and these little fins come out of it and shit. And I did a video about him. He also has the Cobra knife. And so I did a video about movie knives, movie replica knives. And it was fun because it was nostalgic. They were all things that I wanted growing up. So
that's funny.
Gene and Kayla Johnson say, I have an Imperial that has a nude pinup.
Oh, wow.
Now, I remember a mermaid knife that was not like the CRKT. I remember seeing it, and the handle was basically like a mermaid, and the fin came down, but it was all plastic, and it had boobs, and it was actually a nicer knife than the CRKT. It looked way better. So,
did you speaking of CRKT real quick?
Yeah.
They obviously launched some of their, initial lineup for 2022.
Uh-huh.
And I have to say I picked up a couple and they're on the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wanted to check them out. So I was like,
I'm actually thinking about reaching out to CRKT about getting one of my fixed blades made.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it because the fact is, as you can tell by looking at their catalog, they will fucking make anything.
Well, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't been on there already.
I was trying. I got a couple designs that I really were holding out that I wanted to do something special with, and I have like 3 designs left that I've come up with, and there was a couple of them that I really want. I was trying to get stuff like American made. There's still a chance that I might have an American made knife by a company up in Washington area, but Ethan's here, Sinister's here. What's up, Duke? Sorry guys, I have a tendency to forget about the chat over here. I will tell you what's in pocket today because I already filmed the first day in pocket. Have you gotten to see one of these? The Megaron, what is this? This is the Valona. Jared sent this to me.
That's a nice one. I haven't seen that.
This thing is great, but it kind of falls because it wound up in 2 videos that I filmed and edited. I had a little bit left to film and edit of one of them because this almost is in that category of where it can be too big to carry. And I don't mean like it's too, it doesn't fit in my pocket. I mean, like, can you pull this out in public and not have someone call the police? You know what I mean? Because this I measured it on the mat when I did the last little bit for the first day in pocket. This is actually over 9 inches. It doesn't look like it though. Like it doesn't look like it's a 9-inch folder, but it definitely is. What steel?
That's pretty cool, man.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet there, Josiah. Yeah, Jared sent me an entire big box of stuff. There was a big unboxing that went up today.
Oh, okay.
Are you planning on going to the Texas show?
No, I'm actually going to SHOT.
Are you?
In a couple weeks. So I mean, you never know.
I was going to try and go, but
Texas is what, April?
Yeah, I was going to try and go to TKI. I just can't afford to go right now, with everything the way it is. I'm not working. I'm doing this. So it makes it hard to have any outside expenses. Like I didn't pay for the last 2 shows, was it?
Well, is Artisan carrying your stuff this year?
Yeah, but they're not taking me. They took everyone but me. They took Nico. They're taking Nico, but they're not taking me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, oh well.
Come on, Russ. Let's do this, Russ.
Who's this? It's not. I understand it because there's just no way. Like I would have to. Like they were trying to do a small thing, and like everybody have to work the table. I was like, if I'm going, here's the deal. Like if I'm going, I got to be able to film. It doesn't make. If I'm going just to be at the booth, then I'm not going to go. It doesn't benefit.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of your time.
It takes. If I'm doing the table, it takes up. I wouldn't have any time. And filming at someplace big like at SHOT Show, I wouldn't get anything. You know what I mean?
Well, you get something. You get like what, like a break for lunch?
Yeah, but I mean, what, I'm going to film for 30 minutes for 2 days? It's just not happening. Like I wouldn't like Think about like when we were.
I'm
Blade Show
just kidding, dude. I'm totally kidding
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Was this Polly's like, I repeat, I'm a Navy veteran from sending free shit. Okay, so guys, there's a whole bunch of people. I wanted to touch on this, and I'm not gonna be too big on it. Guys, be careful. We talked about it in a chat. Zach probably saw it too. There's a whole list of people that have been like scamming the knife community. So just be careful. Like we see the same people introducing themselves the same way and saying the same things, and all they're looking for is free stuff. So if you see that, just kind of steer clear of it. Polly's making a joke. So Polly definitely.
No, I just had to repost on for whatever reason it wouldn't let me post ahead of time.
Post what ahead of time?
That I was live with you, so I just reposted it on my channel.
Oh, I know.
We got all sorts of people.
I'm sorry,
in there
I didn't click on it. I know Polly. I was just saying Polly's making reference to something that happened in my last live feed.
So, Havoc. He served in Korea. Okay. No one remembers us.
Havoc didn't serve in Korea. I've seen pictures of that dude. He's not old enough. He may have been stationed in Korea. He's bullshit.
He said he served.
He served.
Station's serving.
But we're talking about Korea. But remember Korea. So on the Wishmade bug out, the Wishmade, you mean Benchmade bug out? Oh, the Wishmade bug out. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's the knockoffs that Wish is doing.
Oh,
you can buy them for like $24 or something. And then break on you.
I served in the USSF in the Clone Wars. That's a Maxamet good. Zach, what's your take on Maxamet?
I haven't used it yet.
You haven't?
No, I haven't used it yet. I know it's kind of the hot topic coming into this year. I know there's a couple people that are getting to the races with it.
The only Maxamet I've handled that was, in my opinion, worth a shit was the shit that Sean Big Brown Bear made.
Right. His Maxamet, like anything he makes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I bought one of his knives right at the beginning.
Yeah.
He was working at a local cutlery store helping do, he was helping teach classes on sharpening.
Oh, really?
And he posted a little thing and he's like, hey man, and this is like a couple years ago. He's like, hey, my first couple knives I got, I'm going to be selling them. They're going to be at this store. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So I go to that store and it's like, all of a sudden
they're sold
out. I hear somebody going, hey, Zach. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm in the middle of the city. Like nobody knows me over here, Yeah. And sure enough, Sean's right there working, putting on a class and stuff. And I was like, what's up, buddy? He's like, bro, are you seriously coming to check out one of my new knives? And I'm like, of course. So, snatched it up.
That's who I need to get on the channel, because the fact is, like, I don't like Maxamet production Maxamet because it's thick and it's usually not like, I've never had anyone send me a Maxamet blade. Well, I told everybody I wasn't going to sharpen anymore because it's so hard on my stones and it takes so much time to sharpen. It's just not worth it for me to sharpen a production like a Spyderco and Maxamet. I have no doubt once you get it sharp, it'll hold an edge for freaking ever. I've got the stuff to do it with, but my whole thing with it is I've seen like 6 of them. None of them came from the factory sharp. Like they
really? Okay.
They just didn't feel like they were really, the edge on them were really, really coarse, like super coarse. And I'm like, that's not what I want in a pocket knife. Like if I was out in the woods and I was going to be using it for like heavy cutting and cutting line and rope, I'd probably be fine with it, but I have knives for that.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like, looks like Havoc said he's got a pair of 3 in Maxamet coming in a few days.
Yeah. So Havoc, DM me on Instagram. Let me know how it is. Oh shit. I was supposed to talk to that guy about sharpening on DM. So Polly's like, Mike, I think they got the gout. If he got the gout, it wouldn't surprise me, because if you follow Polly over there at Purple Heart Barbecue, if you see some of the stuff he's eating, it would not surprise me if he has the gout. He's like,
It's the good stuff.
We're going to make a cheese. What did he make? The shredded cheese or shredded chicken and cheese dip that he made. And then he made like carne asada breakfast burritos, and he's made like cheese dips and stuff. I mean, I've known Polly for a long time, and it's obvious that he can cook. I've been watching his channel.
I'm gonna have to go check it out now.
Yeah,
making me hungry, and I just finished eating dinner.
I didn't even eat. Like I just haven't, since I had that migraine, I just haven't felt good. Yeah. I was gonna eat before we started this, and I'm like, I still just don't feel good. Candy bacon.
You got all sorts of people in here. You got Sinister, Purple Heart, Ed Harrison, Sinister.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people. Oh, I didn't see Ed. Hey, Ed. Sorry, I didn't see you there, Ed. There is that Polly's channel?
Bacon.
Candy bacon. You seen that?
Ooh, I have not. Man, that's
Polly,
did you trouble?
Polly, did you make candied bacon, or was that somebody else's channel I saw? Polly's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna be up till like 2 a.m. and then I'm gonna end up having to cook something in the kitchen.
Welcome, William Powell III. Louis, what's up, everybody? Nothing much, man. What's going on? We're just talking with Zach. Zach, show us that Malibu. Here, I'll give you the.
Yeah, so this is the Blade Show West exclusive. The back of the blade, or on this side of the blade, on the scale, they kind of have the 2021 Blade West. But really, for me,
you got that at the show, right? You showed me that at dinner.
Yeah, this is one that they sold. They only had 100 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they it's just got that mosaic pin, and it's hard to show obviously on camera, but it's beautiful. It functions nicely. It's a button lock. It's super smooth. I haven't ordered the bearings yet, but I got to get a set of those bearings. And honestly, William Lenderman, he literally sent me one of his right before Blade Show West, because I had seen the Malibu. I'd never tried one out, but I'm like,
can I see that button again? Is that mother of pearl or is that mosaic?
It's a mosaic pin. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's pretty attractive. Marcos Michael's been having all kinds of bad since the wife went on her trip. You'll be okay, Mike. I have. I stabbed myself in the hand. I had the migraine. I wound up with the flu. I literally caught the flu. Like I was like, I haven't been fucking around anyone, and I catch the flu. And I wound up in an emergency room, and they're like, "Yeah, you got the flu." And I thought I had the coof pandemic, but
no, that's no good. Yeah, you got Sobek Scooters here.
Yeah,
Gene and Kayla, of course. Marcos, we talked about him. ID Wolverine.
Yeah,
some good people jumping in. I'll tell you what, man, that was a through and through.
Yeah,
I've never seen that too much, and I'm like, woo.
Yeah, it wasn't. Here's the thing: it wasn't near as. I mean, it's still. You can see it went fairly far through, but like the doctor said because I wasn't going to the doctor. So here's how this. I wasn't going to go to the doctor, and my buddy Tino was like, "Bro, I'll take you right now to the emergency room." I was like, "No, I'm good. It's really not that bad. It just there's no swelling, there's no real big bruising. I don't have any hard spots where it feels like I like severed something that went loose." I was like, it doesn't even really hurt that bad. We got the bleeding stopped. I had some bruising and stuff, and I wasn't even going to go to the emergency room. I wasn't even going to the doctor. But my doctor, hey doc, I guarantee he's here. My doctor follows this channel, and I get a message the next morning like, "You've got a 9:30 appointment at the East Lake Clinic." And I was like, because he was like, "I'm pretty sure that you need a tetanus." Basically, I went in so we could look at it, make sure that it didn't need to be opened up and irrigated because it was a dirty knife and shit. I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. But he looked at it, he goes, "No, it was pretty clean cut." He said, "You did a good job bandaging it up, kept it clean." He's like, "It's like really good. Nothing to do now." He's like, "But I'm giving you a tetanus shot." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah, good thing you'd already sharpened it.
I wasn't done. I finished sharpening it.
No, but I mean, if it had a dull edge or something. Oh.
Tino had done a hand satin on it, so he had thinned that knife out even more than it already was. And like he did the handles and hand satined it, and then I just was sharpening it. And we were watching Dan Hurd prospecting on YouTube, and I do it all the time. You've seen it in my videos where I'm sharpening and I look away.
Yeah,
that knife had enough flex that it just kind of like it just
boom.
I got a little bit of a weirdness to it and just went right through my hand. Hey, Peter's here. Peter's here.
Kevin
so is
Kirk's
Kevin
here.
Kirk. Kevin Kirk won the Kevin won the the O pen that I had that I was doing for
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, pretty sure that's who won it. So
Jesus egg news here.
Jesus Marimba. But yeah, I have had a lot. Like it always. That's why I don't drink when my wife's gone very much. Like literally, I'll have maybe a couple beers while the wife's gone. But the fact is, like, I don't like it because there's a good chance that I'm gonna fucking hurt myself and wind up having to go to the emergency room, and I don't want to have to call an ambulance.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And Ubers are adversely opposed to letting you bleed all over their car. Like, hey man, can we speed this up? I'm leaking.
It's like Christine's here too?
Yeah.
Nice.
So no one fucks the Jesus, man.
Nice.
So that I'm trying to think, like, the weirdest knife you had. I've definitely seen it. I'm trying to pull up here. I'm gonna pull up a picture and you could. Oh, Zach, you know what? Zach, you're the guest. You're not supposed to be. The weirdest knife. I'm trying to pull a picture of it up. So, I'm just like Cobra.
Yeah, that was a wild knife. And just to answer a question, or not a question, but Kevin Kirk said, "Nice mat." This was a gift that Lancelot Leather put together on like super short notice. Big Red got made and sent to me for my birthday while we were at Blade Show West.
So this is the one here. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to like save the picture, and I don't think it's going to let me. Yeah, I can. Save image as.
No, so on that CRKT drop, there's a couple that interest me, but I really want to see how they put that deadbolt lock onto the M16 knife.
So the first time I got to meet Nick Shabazz in person, he had that great big. You remember the one that they made that was like the massive, looked like a freaking machete, like even big for my hands. That with the deadlock.
Was that the Clever Girl? Or
No,
was it?
Deadlock. What was the? No, it wasn't the deadlock. It was that weird pivot lock thing that they had. I don't remember what they call it. That wasn't the deadlock, was it?
No, the deadbolt lock is like that push. It's a bigger push button. Like it's like a whole big push button right where the pivot is.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, Nick Shabazz had one of the first ones, and they were in these great big massive knives. And I was like, you know what? That's not a horrible knife. And I was like, I wish. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull up. I downloaded a picture of that knife. I'm trying to pull it up, but the StreamYard app is not wanting to play well right now.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what happened with that audio, but it was literally like all of a sudden slow-mo mode, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
I thought you were messing around with me, and I'm like, what?
No, I absolutely wasn't. There we go. Now it's working. Oh, Chrome. Every time I do this, it tells me that it's lost its permissions. So now I got to go up here and I got to.
Oh, nice. He must have linked Purple's channel because he said Aiden is incredible.
Yeah, he's done it a bunch of times.
They're saying that first one was the XOC, the first big one with the deadbolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, Aiden. Dwayne Letterman, what's happening?
I'm trying to.
Mike's getting an image pulled up of a.
I don't know.
I don't know if you would say a replica. Are you doing the replica one or the original?
They're big. I'm doing the original, but
okay.
I don't know why it's not. It looks like everything's set. Let me try it again.
Diver Dave.
You know what? I'm not even gonna fuck around with it. I'll pull a picture of it up on my phone. I'm getting really fed up with this, and I'm going to send them a.
Looks like Purple Heart has a question for you.
What? What are you talking about? Are you a? I don't know.
Whatever Coda is.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone just like I had to do the other night. It won't let me. It's not letting me share images, and it's pissing me off. And I'm gonna have to. I really think I'm gonna have to contact StreamYard and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" There's a lot of times I kind of ignore some of the stuff that Polly says because I don't know how politically correct it is, and I don't necessarily want to interact because giving Polly attention is like putting gasoline on a fire. It can get out of hand real fucking quick, which is a lot of the fun.
Yeah, Delegal 95.
Yeah, we had a whole big discussion. We had a whole big discussion about what his name is. We're not going through the hat hook. It was a gift from my father. And no, you're going to say your dad is deaf again, and I'm going to have to tell you, no, you spelled dead wrong. Now I can't even find it. What was I looking for? Cobra knife. This is taking way longer than it should have.
Oh, there you go. Coda, child of deaf adults.
Here we go.
EDC Oz.
That one. Is that the one you're talking about?
Josh Branson. What's that? Yeah. But mine wasn't real. I mean, it was real in life, but like,
no, these are like 40.
It was like $9.99.
These are like $40.
Yeah.
These are like $40. And like I said, Tino had one, and like I said, he also had the big Bowie knife or the big Bowie machete from Predator, and he had a bunch of different movie knives, and I used them for a video, you know, movie knives and stuff. John, what's up? Javon, how's life?
Well, Javon's in the house.
Child of a deaf adult.
Deadpool Lee, sternly worded letter.
So, Polly asked how long you've had your channel.
Probably 3.5 years.
Like 3.5, 4 years?
Yeah, the overall channel itself has been online for much longer than that. But basically just so I could like leave comments and chat with people and, you know, on live streams and stuff. And then about 3.5 years ago or so, family members like, hey, you know, you got a lot of knives. You should just film them and throw them on the old channel.
I think that I started the channel. I think I first started my YouTube stuff at Rusty Hook. Oh, we gotta get back into this shit, guys. But no, so I started the channel back in 2012, but I don't think I did my first video until like 2015.
Oh, nice.
So not engage about the Rusty Hook.
All right, I'm gonna say what's up, Josh. I appreciate that very much. Awesome. The 10K giveaway was incredible. I'm actually doing all the shipping tonight, and I can't say that all the packages have been claimed yet. So that just means it's going to benefit somebody this coming weekend.
So what? I can't remember what you were giving away.
I had a lot of stuff on there. Hogue knives. They donated one of these, one of the polymer Decas, and then some giveaway swag and stuff. And Benchmade knives. Benchmade knives donated the 535 BK-4, which is that aluminum handled one with kind of a starburst pattern. Had quite a few other donations, and I put some other ones in there myself. But I had 10 different giveaway packages, and then CRKT came through.
You gave away a lot of patches and stickers and stuff too, right?
Patches, stickers. I had Hanks. I had, knife roll bags, and then Tariq made a beautiful leather knife roll, and kind of like a big pouch one, a double one that folds in on itself, and it's just amazing, And he does that as a hobby, and man, he donated that. And then Blade HQ heard about it, and they're like, we want to send a giveaway pack, and so they sent a giveaway pack with a CRKT squid and knife roll and some other stuff. So I just got that picked up today, and So I gave that one away live as like an 11th, bonus giveaway. So
no, Polly, I've lost weight because my wife isn't here and I only eat once a day. Hey, Polly. So
no, nice, Kevin. Kevin got his Zach bling today, a little swag pack. So yeah, that's cool.
Kevin Kirk. Wow, Kevin won shit on my channel. He won shit on your channel. That's cool.
Hey, you know what was really cool? I had probably 3 or 4 people out of the 11, out of the 10, and then of course the 11th person won because they were live. We did a live giveaway, but the other ones that I drew live, there was like I think 3 or 4 of them that were in the chat during the live stream. So it was really cool. I really like it when people win that are present and active in the community. It's always good.
Yeah. You know what? I love, one of my favorite things is when I do the members giveaways is like trying to see where it's going to fall in the numbers and stuff and all that stuff. And but it's always fun when one of the members reaches out, like, you mean I actually fucking won? I was like, yeah. He's like,
I had that this morning. Actually, it was funny because, as you know, people watch it, when they have time,
Yeah.
And somebody watched it this morning. They were like, bro, no way, I won. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I waited till this morning to watch it, And they're like, I'm so glad because I gave people until 5 o'clock Pacific tonight to claim.
I didn't cut my own hand. I've stabbed my own hand, and I've done it numerous times, but the knives are still sharp. So yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, if you freehand sharpen the way I do, you're just going to cut yourself. Like,
dude, no thanks, man. I don't know how you do it. See, I really love this. We were talking about Big Brown Bear earlier.
Yeah.
These are the strops that he makes.
I want one of these stones.
Out of Micarta. Yeah, the stones are amazing, and they sell them through the knife shop or the knife house.
I know.
They have one in Phoenix and Portland, but
I just can't afford to drive. I've got so many expensive stones and stuff. I was like, I can't afford it, to justify stones that I already have. I can't afford to drop $300 on 1,000 grit stone when I already have a $200 1,000 grit stone that I've had for a long time, and natural stones, and because I have so many different stones for different steels and stuff.
Yeah. Well, when I went over to Sean's house here a while back, he gave me like a personal lesson on sharpening right there in the sink. He put his stones in there, and I was like, oh my gosh,
I can't.
And as a big novice of stone sharpening, I was doing pretty good, but then he got it, and he's like, let me show you how to take it to the next level. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, and like I said, I can't do that convex edge any other way than the way I'm doing. I can do it with bigger stones, but the bigger stones are more expensive, and it just seems as though I'm wasting a lot of stone because I'm only using, like, if you look at the dark areas on those stones when I'm sharpening, I'm only using half the stone. And I'm just wearing those stones out, and the entire center section really doesn't get used. And I'm like, it just seems like a waste to spend that much money on those stones. However, Aiden sent me like a $200 12,000 grit stone.
Ooh, nice. 12,000. Ooh.
Holly, I told you don't put it up again, or I will block you, because that is some stolen valor shit, and all it takes is somebody to fucking call it in. So please don't do it. Now this is why I don't put Polly in timeout, because my phone is just gonna blow up. He's just gonna start texting me. So what's up, Duke? Let's see here. Haven't won anything physical, but I have won some amazing friendships, and that's cool to me. Well, that's cool, Josh. And that's why I don't want the political stuff here and shit like that, because it just makes a pain in the ass to fucking deal with when YouTube starts getting like, oh, you've got this content, and then they kick you down the algorithm. I have other channels on other platforms. If you want to know my political opinions, go find me on Full 30. I've definitely done videos there. What's this? What's up, John? Stupid question. Anyone know hardware size style for an SE3 S35 VN trying to execute a simple scale swap? I do not. But I'll tell you what I do know is my wife is super patient, because him talking about hardware reminded me that on our kitchen table, the entire last 2 years that we lived at our last house, on our kitchen table, back at the back where her computer would sit, there's a pivot, and there's an extra pivot for a fucking Nadu, because his pivots are so fucking tight that getting them out, sometimes you wind up breaking the head off the screw trying to screw it in. And I have a spare.
Oh, geez.
Just in case I take a Sharp by Design apart and have to replace the pivot. I had 3 of them, and now I have 1.
So yeah, I want to show you a knife.
Okay, cool.
You've probably seen this, but this is a knife that is on loan to me.
I didn't. Hang on a second. I didn't give John his ringy dingy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's loud. Okay, what do you got? You got solo. You got solo screen.
Ooh, solo screen. Okay, so this is one, and I can't even believe that it's hollow grind. But this is a Yo Jumbo from Spyderco.
I did a review on it. I did a review of the Yo Jumbo on the channel.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe, honestly, like Peter loaned this to me. He's got a sweet pocket clip on it. But I mean, hollow ground. I mean, it's ginormous for me. But honestly, it fits really good. And especially with that pocket clip right there, that deep carry. Oh my.
I don't like those pocket clips because they just become a hotspot. I don't dislike
even on that deep carry.
I don't like deep carry pocket clips.
See, I don't feel that one at all.
I usually don't like deep
so
carry
low
because they sit so high at the very back.
But it doesn't hit me because I don't take up that much.
I take up the entire handle on you.
Yeah. So
you shook hands with me.
Oh yeah. No, I know. So huge shout out to Peter. He loaned me a few of his Spydercos when he came to visit, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I didn't realize. Like, you just don't know until you get them in hand, you know?
I like this. I like some of the Spyderco design. Like I said, I'm a fan of I love the Enduras. That's why I kept that one that has the heat treat issue, because I'm like, that'll prevent, like, as long as I have one, I can't justify buying a new one.
There you go.
But I definitely like the Enduras. I liked the Police. I'm not such a big fan of the Delicas, but I mean, that's pretty much all the same family of knives.
Now, is that because it's got the longer handle and blade for you?
It's not the blade so much. It is that handle. I find the Endura knives, those handles, the full size Enduras, are honestly, like I said it, like if I had to Frankenstein a knife together, the handle would have to be a Spyderco Endura handle. Like, I love the Spyderco Endura handles.
Okay.
But I'm not a fan of a lot of the other stuff that goes with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just got this Endura right here. This one.
Yeah, I love that handle. That handle is really comfortable. It's really ergonomics and stuff like that. But
this one is where that pocket clip right there, that sits right in the middle of my middle finger and just bugs me. But overall, it's got a wonderful grip to it.
Yeah, it does. I'm
just not a fan of the backlock portion of it, but
I don't mind a backlock if it's done well. I had one of the best actions on a knife that came in a while was on was it a steel will? It was steel will that came in, and it was a backlock, and it was like you could flick it, you could flip it. It was nice, super smooth. But like, I got this because this falls into the Endura series. I got this for my wife.
What in the heck?
That is the Matriarch II. So so you remember how they had the civilian, which has this blade shape, which was for undercover police agents. So they didn't need training and needed a self-defense tool because they couldn't carry a firearm in certain situations, right? South Africa started having a bunch of like attacks of women in public and on trains and on subways and buses. And they reached out to Sal Glesser and said, we want a smaller, more affordable version of that. And so what he did was he shrunk the blade down a little bit and fitted it into that's just an Endura handle.
I gotcha.
That's a Spyderco Endura handle. And
that makes sense.
With the basically a shrunk down civilian blade. To call it the Matriarch II. And I got this for my wife, and she's afraid of it. She's afraid she's going to hurt herself with it, which I'm not going to argue that that's a possibility, but I just wanted her to have something.
Yeah.
Time I got it for her, we only had one car, and so she would take the trolley and the bus and stuff here in San Diego. So
you see what Sinister just put on there?
That is the Spyderco femoral tap. I knew this thing would lay a vicious. That would lay a vicious wound. So this is actually in the. This is Mike. I know you got white colors. Got to maintain an appearance. I don't have white colors. I have blue color mine.
Nice. What's up, Mr. McKenzie? Just fiddling with my Ritter.
Just fiddling with your Ritter. You know what? For as much as I talked to Doug and I love the knife rates and all that. I do not own a Ritter from Hogue. I don't own one of those Doug Ritter Hogues. I like them. I want the fixed blade one.
Oh, the fixed blade one's nice too.
I want the fixed blade one. I've got enough folding knives. I've got enough knives, period. It took me 7 videos to get my fucking my full collection put in. They were all at least 15 minutes, if not longer.
Yeah.
I really don't think
Snuz
is here.
And Shane, I have to apologize to Shane because because he switched his channel name.
Oh yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm still like, what? And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's Shane.
Yeah, it got me a couple times too, and now I don't even think about it. Like I just see.
Yeah.
I don't do it as much anymore because I've got so many more followers. But there was a long time that I could go on an Instagram live feed and I knew everyone, even though their screen names were weird, that I knew everyone by their name. And there was a long time here on YouTube as well that I knew everyone, even after I had like 1,000 followers. I still knew every person by their actual name, even if they had weird like Duke. And yes, I put you in timeout. Yeah, I'll do it again. I will. What's up, Mr. Again.
Greg? Said the White River M1 backpacker. It's a great knife.
Okay, I got to do this real quick.
Yeehaw.
I will tell you a knife that I wish I still had, and I don't even know the name of it. So when I was on my second ship, I had this little tiny Gerber. Didn't have a pocket clip or anything. I had this little tiny Gerber with plastic handles, and it was such a really good, nice blade. And it came like it was thin here, and then it kind of widened up. It was like almost like the plastic was molded into 3 different distinct heights and things like that. And I had that thing for a long time, and they were trying to cut something loose on the pier while the ship was getting underway. So I threw my knife to a buddy of mine that was working on the pier, and he was like, heads up. And he throws it back to me. And he warned me. He was like, I never played baseball. And he throws it, and it hits the bulkhead above me. Cause I was in an open passageway. So there was a deck above me and a deck below me, and it was just open, and it hit and went right in the water. He goes, sorry, bro, I owe you a knife.
Oh Lord.
Oh shit, Aiden's here. Louder? I don't want to do it louder. I still kind of have a headache. I complain about my neighbor's dogs, and I bet they're in their house going, what the fuck is he doing in there?
So I see Cole Cochran, he earlier asked if I had bought a Hinder yet, because he loaned me some of his, and I'll tell you what, it's on my list. It's on my list. I know exactly which one I want now. And then Spitfire had asked about the Spidey being drop shut. It's a little bit drop shutty, but it's got there's one sticky point.
That is the bad thing about the lockbacks from Spyderco. They are a little sticky, but the fact is, I don't care, because like for what I ever carried an Endura for, it was fine. And I like the fact that this doesn't drop shut, because that's horrible. That is a terrifying thought. I'll tell you what. So we were talking about Hinders. Give me just a second. I'm going to go grab it if it's not up here. I got something from Eric Oakes, and I think you saw it. Give me just a second.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Just want to give a huge shout out. Looks like Karthik P is here, as well as all the fun people in the chat.
So yeah,
been a wild and crazy week.
So Eric came on the podcast. I don't know if you got to see this yet. Eric came on the podcast, and then he reached out to me because we talked about his Osprey EDX.
Ooh, yeah.
that he's having done with React. He sent this to me as a gift. He's like, hey, I've got one that has some micro scratches on it. He's like, I will send it to you as a Christmas gift. And I was like, I mean, you don't have to do that. I'm not going to stop you. If this had come in.
Yeah.
If this had come in before that hinderer, or had come in before I'd made my cutoff of when I was going to do my knife of 2021 video, I had that hinderer flipperless 3-inch XM18. Thing was great, but if this had come in, this would have beat it.
Oh, really?
This thing is just all around good knife. This thing is, because it's so thin, because it's got a hollow grind and everything.
Yeah.
This thing is great, even though it's a little smaller.
Okay. Well, yeah, you showed that the other day too, I think, huh?
Say what?
I said you showed that one the other day, right?
Yeah, I did the first. Yeah. I think I did first day in pockets. I did the unboxing and first day in pockets, and I'm like, this cool. And it's, I'll tell you. So you know how like there's all those edge geometry testing, like how well is it cut, and cutting an apple is a really good one, because if you cut it through, and the apple starts to peel up and crack because the blade's thick.
Okay.
That tells you like, that nice little thicker behind the edge. This thing, like I started to cut an apple and it was like, that's going to go right through into my thumb. I was like, that's going to split my thumb wide open. I was like, we're putting this away because this is dangerous. But in fact, it's so light because it's a bolster lock. So all that titanium's been milled out and replaced with G10. So it's really light. You haven't got to see one yet?
No, huh?
I'll tell you what.
Christine just said, is that the one you're sending to me?
No, but I would actually like, I mean, we can pass it around a little bit, but I was going to say when I get done, because I have to do the full review of it, I can send it off to you if you want to do a video about it and then send it to Peter and Christine, and then they can send it back to me. If you want to borrow it.
That'd be super cool. That'd be super cool.
I'm not kidding. I really like this knife a lot. It's I told Jared that too. I was like, if it had come in, I would have this would have won Knife of the Year for 2021. Wow.
So Bix, calling them Zach locks.
So I don't know if you guys know it, but Spitfire actually writes articles for an online knife magazine.
Oh, really? Cool.
Not the slicey dicey affair thing. This is like an actual company that will pay him. So
hey, I will say that Knives Illustrated paid me finally.
Did they?
I don't know if you saw that, but I did an update one. They paid me. So,
I try to watch everybody's content, but like it's so hard, especially now that we've all started following each other, like Peter and Christine and me and Jared, and there's just so much. So I mean, Jared puts up like sometimes 3 videos a day from these knives, and then between filming and taking care of all the shit that I have to take care of. So
Lefty likes it too. That's good.
Is Lefty here?
No. Louis just said Lefty EDC likes it a lot as well.
Was this Mr. McKenzie said, did that across 4 fingers cutting through an onion once. Onion juice. Ooh.
No thanks.
Yeah. No.
Ouch.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the worst thing that has happened in a while was not the actual stabbing myself in the hand. It was after Tino had stopped filming and I sprayed it with rubbing alcohol so that I could clean the entire surface and bandage it. And he saw the look on his face on my face. He goes, "That stung, didn't it?" I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." That doesn't. I'm not happy about what just happened.
NYC in the house. Oh yeah, what is Spitfire right for?
Yeah, I can't remember. Task and purpose. It's task and purpose.
Oh, okay.
Task and purpose.
Nice.
And he sent me. He did one. I can't remember which. I know he did my stonefish, and then he did another knife. And I read the articles, and he does a pretty good job. But Josiah's like, he's one of those guys you could tell just by talking to him. Like, yeah, this guy can write an article.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So, Chris, did you get to sell? So this is Chris. Did you sell that goddamn the Sparrow. Did you sell that Sparrow? The Jesus Christ, why can't I think of it? It's Will and Eric up there in Portland. God damn it. I can't think of the company. No, he still has it. What's the name of the company? I can't remember their fucking name off the top of my head. They had fucking lunch. They had dinner with me in Vegas. Ooh. That was my second place knife. That was my runner-up. Yeah, that was my runner-up for 2021. Touch. Will and Eric Touch. That's what it is. The Touch Knife Sparrow. He has one of those. So, I don't know what the hell my dog's doing in there. He has one of the hidden autos, the double actions from Will and Eric Touch up there in Portland.
Ooh, that's nice. Hey, yeah, Josh, have a good night, man. I appreciate it. Doing some time for someone.
Pains me to review a good company, but I must make nightly rounds before. Oh, okay. I got you. I don't
know if you guys saw. I don't know if it's still open, but the lotto they have 50 shadows. They're doing a lotto drawing for up on the Three Rivers website.
Like win it, or is it a lotto where you win a chance?
No, like you win the opportunity to pay them for the night.
Yeah, so. I don't like those lotteries as much as I like.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you can, if you really want one, put in on it. I mean, if you're looking to already buy it, oh, there you go.
I would. Here's the thing. Like, as much as I like it, it would just be another knife that I didn't carry. Because the fact is, what's in my pocket all the time, like literally all the time, is my
Benchmade 940.
No, it's not. My 940 actually gets a lot of carry time.
I know. That's why I said that, because I know you carry that often.
I do, because now I have exactly the 940 I want.
Mm-hmm.
I have it with a S90 V blade, and I blacked I put a black ceramic coating on and distressed it on the handles. And so I'm perfectly happy with what I got. It's just, it could be so much better if they had just done a hollow on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to thin that behind the edge profile just a little bit.
Hey, can I drop a little hint?
Yes.
On your channel?
Yes.
It's Benchmade though. So, but I will say this. I got some information today on what the SHOT Show 2022 Benchmade knife will be.
Okay.
It's going to be a smoking hot one. It's going to
do you have an example? That's why I gave you solo. Do you have an example of it?
I do not have anything to share right now. It's not public info out there, but it's one of those that people loved it. And they did a custom, kind of a custom version, not custom, but
like their gold class. Did they?
No, they didn't gold class it out, but it's one that people love, and it's one that's gonna be awesome. Because 2 years ago, they canceled last year's, but they did from last year they did the mini Freak with jade scales.
I do like the Freak. That's not a bad knife.
Well, but the mini Freak with jade scales, it's like you gotta like it. It's not one that people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. Dude, this one's gonna sell quick. It's gonna be a good one. So
yeah, I like the Freak and the mini Freak. And like I said, I am much more inclined to get a Benchmade knife than I would a Spyderco. And it has nothing to do with the quality, because I think it's about the same. They both have kind of circled around the drain a little bit. But if I was to get I would probably get a Benchmade, because I gravitate more to their designs than the Spyderco stuff. Like I said, the Endura series is about the only one I like. I do like the Para 2. I like the Paramilitary 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Para 2 is a good knife. But if I had to pick between the two, I would just like you can only buy either Benchmade or Spyderco for the rest of your life, and you have to make that choice. I'm like, all right, I'm going with Benchmade because I like the designs a little bit better. What's up, Justin? How you, bud? Justin, I'm going to get a hold of you after we get done with this if you've got time.
Justin. Yeah, there was a comment here a minute ago why they're like, why do they always do serrations first? Just like on the Claymore, you know. We're gonna probably see a non-serrated version. I know that already leaked out there, but
are you talking about like for their first production runs?
yeah, some of like that model right there with the Claymore, you know, they brought it out, and instead of giving you both options, they're like, yeah, we're gonna give you 2 scale and 2 blade options, but they're all gonna be serrated.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a half and half. Like I have a multi-tool that has probably one of the best serrated blades I've ever had, but it's great for cutting line, and especially like on a ship, some of the bigger, you know, that wound nylon line that is really hard to cut. It's great for that, but I'm not a fan of the half and half blades, like the combination blades. And then they always, that's what I was saying. There's a lot of models that I'd love to try, but they have that. And I'm just not a fan of the serrations. So Jason, have you gotten to handle the Wii Elementum?
Me?
Yeah.
Not the Wii version. No, well, let me take that back. They had a couple prototypes at Blade West. One of them I saw, the others they did not have prototypes of.
Well, they have a fixed blade now, and that might be the one you're talking. I'm talking about the folding Elementum. Jared sent me one that was a button lock only, and I wasn't a fan of that because there was no flipper. You had to, it was like a gravity knife is basically what it was.
But did you see when you were at Blade West, did you get an opportunity to go over there?
Yeah, I talked with those guys, and I talked with Shane for a while, and we were talking about.
Did he show you the prototype of the Elementum? Yeah, okay. That one's going to be cool. That's going to fix that problem of button lock only.
Exactly. Well, they had a couple different. They had a flipper version, and they had a button lock version. I have to say that like that knife was so close to perfect once you got it in hand. If you could get past the button lock, which I don't think I really could because I just didn't like only that one deployment. But that hollow ground blade in 14C was amazing. Like I got it, and Jared was like, just if you can't say anything good about it, just don't do the video, but like at least try it. And I started cutting with it. I was like, oh man, this thing is a hog. It is chewing through some material. So
nice. Hey, it sounds like Shane said that Kevin's getting his first Benchmade. Yeah, heck yeah.
Kevin who?
Kevin Kirk.
Oh, okay.
The Paper Tiger's here. Scott Simmons is here.
I saw that. Scott Simmons is like, he's asking what's a decent price for a 550 grip, brand new in box.
I think that's the one with the G10. I mean, if you can get it for $150, that should be a good deal.
I was thinking like the Griptilians, like any of the Griptilians are good. That's another knife I really like is the Griptilian and the mini grip.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're getting a mini grip like this, you know, you shouldn't pay, you know, if you're getting it from like a private party, I wouldn't pay more than $100 or something. But if it's a G10 one, it's got the upgraded blade steel and stuff. Like you can get it for 150.
If it's mint new in box, I'd pay whatever the list price was. You know, I'd pay MSRP.
I'd pay dealer price. I don't know if I'd pay full MSRP though.
Yeah, I'd try to like. That's what I said. That's why I like the Wayback Machine, because sometimes if somebody asks me, it's like, well, what would you pay for this? I'm like, let me see what it cost on knifecenter.com when it was available. Yeah. And I was like, if it's new in box, I'm like,
what's up, Walt? Okay.
I got that. And let me add another $20 and see if he'll bite. You know, let me see what MS or what MAP was, what they were offering it on Knife Center, and then add like $20.
Yeah. What's up, Greg? Hey, it looks like Justin just sent you a little DM.
Yeah, I saw that. I was getting ready to pull it up. Thank you. I'll get a hold of you. Greg. Nice to see you here. Ken sent me some knives a couple times. It's got a Ferrum Forge Archbishop 2.0 through works I'm wanting to sell. So if you haven't seen, that's one of the ones that's like milled through, and you can see they're attractive. It's one of those nice ones.
That's nice. Yeah, Ken, that's awesome. Ken's got an Archbishop 2.0. He's looking to offload. That's a good one.
Justin asked if you finished Yellowstone.
I did. So Justin got me hooked. That I just want to answer Jared's thing or mention it. He got his first S30V grip in the sheep's foot. Yeah, that's an awesome deal. But yeah, so basically Justin been hounding me. He's like, bro, you gotta watch this show. You gotta watch the show. And I'm like, he's like, I know you'll like it. I'm like, okay. And so Christmas weekend, I was like, all right, let me click this on. Watch the first couple episodes, season 1, and I'll tell you what, I was through season 2 by the end of the weekend.
That's why I'm
And
afraid.
then,
That's why I'm
and then
afraid.
this last weekend, yeah, I
That's the
just
one with
blew it
Kevin
out.
Costner, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. In
I'm
Montana.
like, here's the problem. Like, I know what's going to happen because it looks so good, and I'm like, I'm going to wind up getting stuck watching that because with sharpening and doing stuff, I like just having stuff that is stuff that I don't have to pay attention to. That's why a lot of times
you'll pay attention to that one. Yeah,
that's the
you're not going to be able to
problem.
sharpen during it.
It'll detract from it. And so a lot of times I rewatch stuff I've watched hundreds of times. Like right now, the TV that's on here in the garage is on Pluto TV on the CSI channel. And I've watched every episode of CSI numerous times.
Gotcha.
I own them all either digitally or in like the box sets for for DVDs. And so I can just put that on and I don't have to pay attention to it because it's just like background noise.
Yeah. Well, like what Charles said, it's brilliant. I'll tell you what, the writing and the way they build the characters and then they keep it interesting with some action, some little bit of plot going. And then even when they go off on, side stories a little bit, it still keeps your attention. Like there's some shows over the last year or two that I've watched where it's like, it takes a while to get into it,
And a lot of times, what I catch myself watching, because when I had the flu and I didn't do as many live feeds and stuff, I just do as many videos as I could and shit like that. I watched pretty much every crime documentary that Netflix has because I love their crime documentary. Yeah, I watched the Hillside, they're not the Hillside Strangler, the Night Stalker. I watched the one about the catching serial killers and all that stuff. So I just basically I'll watch those. That's a thing that I picked up from my dad. My dad always watched documentaries. Like that's all we ever watched growing up. History documentaries. And like, I didn't get to control the remote. I was the remote. He's like, go put that on. And we would watch. And Wild America. Did you ever watch Wild America?
Nope.
You should go watch it. That's like, you basically will get to watch what I watched every Saturday night growing up until I got a car.
Nice. It looks like, what do we have here? Breeze just jumped in. What's up, Breeze? And then there was a question for you back here from Aiden about Cold Steel.
Cold Steel Recon 1 or Cold Steel Spartan. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I'd take the Recon 1, the drop point. I have a Spartan and it's just, I think it's too big. It's even.
I like the Recon 1. Personally,
yeah, it was too big to even wind up in my 5 fast knives too big to carry video that's going up Friday. I thought about putting it in. I was like, see, I don't even have to ask the question. Like that's one of those ones you're like, yeah, it's obviously too big to carry in public. Because the whole point of the video is it's not, is it too big to carry like comfortably? It's like, is it too big? Is that a knife that people are gonna like flip out if you pull it out in public?
Yeah.
Kind of like
I'll tell you what though, there's some comments there from Ken about the quadruple 6 Texas ranch that they had in Yellowstone. And the funniest part is like throughout all the things, I love the little side comments by some of the ranch hands and stuff and the cowboys on there. And it's always like, man, those barrel girls, the barrel racing girls.
It's always barrel. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I rode 2 seasons of amateur rodeo. It's always the barrel racers. Like if anyone's gonna ruin a marriage at a rodeo, it's gonna be a barrel racer. She's gonna fuck up somebody's marriage.
But they even like no matter what got into it, whether they were like, trying to hook up on somebody, or if they were trying to like, get a little rough and got into a little scrap or something, it's just funny.
Yeah, I mean that it's not like that's a very authentic statement. If it's not a Cold Steel, is it even a Tonto? Yes. Yes, it is. It is coming. Are you talking about
Mr. McKenzie?
So Mr. McKenzie, knives that drop shutter great. Toilet seats, on the other hand, wake up the house. That's the biggest adjustment. We bought that house, and the first thing I did when we bought that house that we were in before we sold it, I put those soft touch toilet seats in. So I didn't wake anyone up because a lot of time. I still have not, we've been here for coming up on 7 months, I think 8 months in this rental. I still have not gotten used to the fact that the toilet seat won't just lightly, like the lid won't just gently come down. Every night my wife is like, can't you put that down? I'm like, I forget. 2 o'clock in the morning, she's in her, she's bang. And I'm like, fuck. And she's like, why do you have to do that? And I was like, I don't do it on purpose. Trust me. Because you're like walking, you're like 2 steps out of the bathroom because it's starting to fall, and you're like, bang, you're like, oh, fuck, she's going to wake up.
Get the bidet.
When we lived in Japan, every toilet in every house we ever had in Japan had one of those, they call them washlets. It's a bidet toilet. So it's just a seat that goes on. And I'm not going to lie to you, they are freaking awesome. Because
hey, Breeze is dipping out. He's got to go. He's almost got a battery low on his phone. So
Breeze, sorry, man. I was going to harass you for a while after you were giving me some shit in Jared's.
Patina Turner
depends. I don't know what we're talking about. You're going to summon Neves by saying bang. Did you guys see in a video today? I was talking about a knife and I was like, do you guys hear that action? Bang. And I was like, I got to put in a thing. So on the video, right when I say bang, it pops up Neves knife because he sent it to me. It was an unboxing from Jared.
See, that's Justin. I'm going to have to try that out because I'm a little scared. I'm like, isn't he going to get it dirty?
No.
And like, how do you dry yourself off? Do you just got to still use toilet paper?
If you get a good one, the one we had, it's the one that we had in our house in Tokyo area. The upstairs one, the downstairs one had it too, but it didn't work as well. Like it has multiple settings. So you can check, you can set your pressure, your water pressure. You can set the water temperature. And then it has a dryer. It's like a hand dryer for your butt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's great. And then like, so basically what you're doing is like, if you go back there with toilet paper, like all you're doing is like catching a drop that maybe the hand dryer didn't get because it literally, like it's the cleanest it's ever been back there. Like you don't need
a hot air dryer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a hot air dryer.
Right. I'm going to have to put that on my next wish list.
They're not cheap. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're not cheap. He's right. The fucking starfish has never been as clean as when you have a bidet.
See?
The only way to do it any better is if you just jump right in a shower. Like, okay.
So that's why it was like the thing to do during this whole last 2 years. People were just snatching those up right and left because you don't have to worry about supply and demand of paper products or anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I bought a box of those. So Costco didn't have any toilet paper. My wife said, what are we going to do? I was like, we've got some toilet paper. And I was like, I don't think we're going to write out. Like we're pretty frugal and we have, but I was like, but I have an option. She's like, what's that? And it was a box of those, the small shop towels, not the paper ones, but the cloth ones. I was like, these are one-time use wash. Just fucking use it once, wet it, get it, and then fucking take it right downstairs and put it in a washing machine.
Get those dude wipes.
Or wash it out in the sink. Yeah, those. I had never tried those until I went to, I think I was in Bahrain. No, I was in Kuwait. I was at a Kuwaiti naval base, and that they had those, and they would sell them at the PX at Arifjan at the air base. And I was like, "What are these?" I was like, "Oh, you've never tried these?" He's like, "These are adult baby wipes." He's like, "These are great." They're like, the guy, it's like you don't want like it's 118, 119 degrees all the time. He's like, you don't want mud butt here. You will get a rash. He's like, this is something that's going to prevent you from needing baby rash cream. And I was like, he's like, they're really heavy duty, like baby wipes. And I was like, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
No TP if you have a bidet. I pissed in a bidet one time because I didn't know what it was. An actual bidet. We got stuck in United Arabian Emirates, and they had us in this flat. And I came back. We had been out drinking, and I came back drunk, and I couldn't tell the bidet from the toilet. I took a leak.
Oh no! Oh jeez.
My flatmates were not impressed. Was this? You never want med bet. It's not a good idea. So what's your next video that's going to be going up? What are you going to do a video about? Or is it going to just be a surprise?
So here's the deal. My next video that was supposed to go up tomorrow was going to be my knife of the year for 2021, or like,
Okay.
my top 5, let's say. But I found that I messed up on my 10K giveaway.
Oh, did you?
And so I forgot a package that got sent in as giveaway stuff. And supposedly, I haven't opened this up, but this is going to be on the video that I'll post tomorrow. This is a whole box of truffles from Utah.
Truffles.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly the best.
With chocolate truffles?
Supposedly the best. Yeah, supposedly the best. And so
not the fungus. Not the fungus that
there was a couple included.
Huh?
Yeah. There was a couple included for me because I had to try them, but then there was one for every giveaway package. And so anyway, so I messed that up. So I gotta put this up tonight, do a special video, and thank the person because I totally spaceballed it. And I was like, I got everything out. I was all prepared. I got everything labeled for my 10K. I got all the packages set out. Had a friend in the community come over. EDC Renzo came over and was like, I'm gonna help out, this and that. And I'm like, perfect. And then literally I forgot those came in like the night before. And they were sitting in my office, and I get all done. I was putting stuff away, and I'm like, "You're a goofball," because somebody was super nice and sent those. And
you could always just send them out. You could always send them out. You could send them out later with them as an additional package, because this time of year is a good time to do it because it's not like it's going to be real hot and they're going to melt.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. What's up, Kevin? Yeah, Kevin says, send them to me. I review and collect truffles.
So Mr. McKenzie asked, did I really win a giveaway the other day?
People win giveaways all the time, man.
But I'm saying, like, on here, who's Mr. McKenzie?
Mr. McKenzie?
Yeah.
Mr. McKenzie.
Did he win on your channel, or is he talking about the giveaway that I did and James Straub won my giveaway? I didn't know.
No, he won the Civivi Elementum package for me.
Oh, okay.
From me. It was a donation from a friend in the community. He was like, hey, I want to donate some stuff. And then NAFSCO donated a bunch of stuff. Like one of their titanium rulers.
Somebody asked me about my mat, the NAFs.com mat that I have. Same company, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Ben Peterson.
Yeah, Ben.
Used to be with Blade HQ, the What Is Up guys.
Yeah. I want to try and get him. Do you have contact with him? Because I want to try and get him on a channel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's hook that up. I want to get Ben on the podcast.
He's great. He'll do it. He's great.
Yeah, I know. I talked to him when he was still with them, because don't forget Elliot dealt with him a lot too.
Yeah. And the cool part is like literally he's one of us. Like, he's a knife nerd. He's he's one of those guys that's like, this is cool. This is stuff that I want, Well,
that's what always made it cool when he would do the videos, because you can tell guys that do knife videos and they're just doing it because it's their job. And then you can pick people out that are like, these guys are passionate about it. Like, these guys really, really like this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So Mr. McKenzie is like, I won Zach's giveaway. I just wanted to hear it live.
Yep.
Amazing. So
that's what I'm talking about. Like, so many great people that are part of almost every knife channel in the community won. Paper Tiger won something. Yeah. Mr. McKenzie did. Who else is on here that won stuff?
I can't get enough stuff in for giveaway the way like you do. Like, I can do a knife a month. Like, I do it for my paying members, because at this point right now, if I did it for everyone, I would basically have to buy stuff.
Well, see, that was the thing. Like, four of those 10 packages were ones that I created, and I donated my own knives. So
I know, but like I said, all the stuff I have here, because there's stuff that comes in and out. All this stuff, for as large as my collection is, it's all here for a reason. Like I don't keep things. Like I have knives that have no other reason that they're here except, emotional attachment. Oh, I did. I was bragging about how sharp this knife was, and I was bragging about how well it was holding its edge, even though I did it. Did I tell you guys in the group chat on Instagram that I had to resharpen this?
Oh, really?
One of the cats that hangs out around my house was just thrashing and shit. And it's one of the ones that usually is kind of standoffish. And he's like thrashing around and he was caught on something. Somebody had tossed out like close to like either over the fence or close to the front, because there is a road behind my backyard, had thrown a piece of what I thought was fishing line over, and he was all wrapped up in it. And so I got a hold of it and I got it cut loose. But the second I cut loose, I realized it was like not the monofilament line. It was like the metal leader that you use for deep sea fishing. It was like a spool of that, like that really flexible wire. So I cut through it, but I took the entire edge off of my knife.
Oh man.
And had to resharpen it. So I can tell you that the heat treat on this M390 that they used for this it's pretty fucking good. Because I was like, good God, this is hard to sharpen.
Sobek said he got the Ben Blue Baby banner signed by Ben.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Which meow meow was the meow meow that needed rescue? There's an orange one that really, like, usually when I go out and I feed those cats, he's not there every time, and then like he hisses at me when I'm trying to put the bowl out. But after I cut him loose today, he was just like right there, and he was like looking at me. And I was like, I was almost gonna pet him, and I reached out, and he didn't act like he was gonna scratch me. And I was like, he might just be sucking me in. He might just be sucking me in, just trying to trick my ass. The last thing I want is get bit by a fucking cat, feral cat out in the yard.
You're definitely gonna need to go see your doctor again.
Yeah, fucking Garfield. So you're going to SHOT. Who else is going? I mean, I know Christine's going.
Yeah, I think Peter and Christine are going. I know Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions is going.
Man,
JB, Big Red EDC is going. Eggs and Ham is going. And there's quite a few other people from the community that are going to go. And then there's some people that are bowing out just because of everything that's happening.
I want to go because I want to hang out with everybody and film. But I can't afford. I can drive there. I can drive to Vegas in like 7 hours, but I want.
Yeah.
Dang
it, Peter's not going.
Yeah, I don't have the money for a fucking hotel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I could swing the gas and everything, but then when you figure getting in and then wherever I get a hotel room and all that stuff, by the time I get all that stuff, I'm kind of outside of what I want to spend. You know what I mean? And then you figure if I get a cheap hotel, I'm gonna have to take an Uber every day.
Yeah, that's what I did back in 2020. I just took a Lyft everywhere I went. And I think for the week I was a couple $100 in Lyft fees.
Shane, hit me up after this. Shoot me a DM. I'll talk to you about it.
Let's see here. How much does it cost to get tickets? It's actually an industry show, Mr. McKenzie. So it's open for it's basically where all the manufacturers and people that have new product come and show it off. And so they're trying to make, all the dealers go there. They, sign up for deals, place orders. It's also open for media, TV, print, YouTube, those kind of things. They open it up for that. So it's not really a public show at all, but there's industry people there. So,
and the other thing too is,
Knife Modders in the house. Knife Modders.
Yeah, I saw that. What's up, guys? I looked at it and I was like, here's the thing. That would be a good show because I could honestly go and then come back with no knives because you can't buy anything there. There's nothing for sale at SHOT Show. It is just an exhibition period. So,
I mean, you can pick up like a little bit of swag. Like most places will have stickers and stuff or whatever.
You can give stuff, but that's the whole thing is because that's where those relationships are built. So like these vendors and dealers and all that stuff. That's how they.
So a lot of it comes down to tax too. The show would have to charge and the dealers or the the manufacturers have to charge tax, and so they don't sell any of that stuff there.
And
So
that's another reason why I was like, when we were talking about all the stuff like going with for artisan, I was like, well, why do you need that many people? You're not selling anything. You know,
what's
why
up,
would
James?
you at the table?
James from down under.
James.
Yeah, I mean, and you could definitely get your own table. I mean, there's people that just have a table there.
No, I'm not.
No
not
booth. I remember in 2020 we went and was chatting with Russell and Dylan and them over at Artisan Cutlery, and they were right across, right behind them was, or not behind them, but across from their counter was a huge, it was probably 5 times the size of theirs, but it was Medford, and Greg was over there and chatting with everybody. So it's really kind of a cool opportunity as well to, because they're open there for about 4 days, so you can really spend some time talking to people.
It's a big show, but like it's
not.
The whole thing is that there's so much. I was looking at how much stuff was there, and it was that's what I'm saying. You can't do that. There's no transactions. You can't, like, I cannot charge people to sharpen knives. It's just, you can't do that. That's what it is. You cannot. There is no money transactions at SHOT Show.
You could take sharp knives that you've sharpened and then
show them
solicit yourself.
Exactly. I think that's is that legal? Soliciting legal in Vegas?
Certain areas, I think, right?
I don't think I'd have anyone pay. Oh, not that. Different type of soliciting.
Yeah. Solicit your sharpening services. I should clarify.
No, you don't do that, because then you get yourself banned from shows when you start doing stuff outside of the
venue. Well, you saw this year, they built a sky bridge over the last 2 years, and now it's going to basically go from where it's always been at the Venetian Expo, and it's going to go over to what is that, Caesars Expo or something?
I can't remember. I saw it and I was looking at TKI. There's a guy that I met through the YouTube channel. That I helped broker some deals to get some knives that he really, really wanted, some rare stuff that was like stuff you just can't get anymore. And the prices have went up crazy. Like, original price of this knife would have been like maybe $600. They're like $10,000-$12,000 now. We're not getting into what company or what maker or anything, but I helped him get some. And he was talking about going to TKI, and I was like, yeah, I'd have to look at it. So like, if he says that, like, yeah, because he's got a lot of money. If he's like, yeah, I want to go because that way I can introduce him to makers and he can get on the books and stuff, then I might go to TKI. But just right now, it just financially, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not working. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm making money right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got the QSP frag pattern. Ooh.
Okay. I saw somebody had that on their channel. Was it Shabazz? Did Nick have one of those on his channel? One of the titanium QSP penguins?
I think Metal Complex did. Oh.
I'm pretty sure that Nick did too. Cause like, I don't know Richard as much. I mean, like, I know Nick Shabazz really well. So like, I check out what's on Metal Complex, but I definitely I take more of a vested interest in channels that I'm friends with, like Jared and you and Peter and a bunch of other people and Nick. So I'm more inclined to probably watch their content unless something pops up on Metal Complex that just gets my attention. I'm like, ooh,
nice. See, then that's the stuff right there. Like Sobex and Marcos, they said it's a total networking opportunity. And then Marcos said the best cheesecake factory ever inside Caesars. And see, that's the stuff right there where, I'm seeing like these burger places around and these other, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna need to start making some appointments right now. Make some reservations, enjoy the evening, because we had a fun night, and that's where I spent some good time with Carlos from DCS, because we had a night where we met on the floor, and it's like, oh hey, and we'd kind of seen each other's stuff, but not really.
Get really drunk and pass out and met on the floor, like, hey man, woke up on the
floor. we didn't not that much networking, but it was nice because we were all staying on the strip, and we're like, hey, let's go meet at this place. And he's like, they got great street tacos where they just shave the meat right off, into your taco. And it's like, oh my gosh. And so we went there, we all had fun. There was about 5 or 6 of us, and Dylan Mallory was there and stuff. And so
Well, that's
It was
the
just
first
cool.
place I met Dylan was at USN. Like when
Oh,
I met
yeah.
Dylan,
Yeah,
I met Dylan and Russell at USN, and at USN, that was the year I had my birthday at USN, and I got drunk with Nick Shabazz and Will and Eric Touch and Aaron Frederick and Nico, and then I got a call. Russell was like, "Hey, come up to the Cove because the boss wants to see you," and that's when my buddy Nathan from Rat Bastard Knives told everyone in the Cove it was my birthday. So Jason McCoy, Ramon Chavez, like all the people that I know started coming by because they had all brought bottles and just started pouring me drinks. And it was bad. I woke up the next morning. I was like, I wish I died as a child.
Yeah, exactly, Peter. Exactly.
What'd Peter say?
He said, "Come to Vegas and get a shaved taco?" ?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, like the best meal I had in Vegas was steak and eggs at 1 o'clock in the morning, the first night of USN at what is it now? It's Planet Hollywood, but it used to be the Aladdin.
Oh.
And it was kind of cool because I had my birthday in the same hotel that my wife and I spent our honeymoon in.
Oh, that's cool.
Because when my wife and I went to Vegas for our honeymoon, we stayed at the Aladdin, and then they converted it to the Planet Hollywood.
Nice. What's up, Dark BMX? I'm gonna have to hit up Marcos, it looks like, and get a little list of places to go. But I'll tell you what, honestly, like, and then we had a night where, we all went out to dinner, and then we ended up going to PVK Vegas. You got to spend some money there. Check out some of the mods they do.
I'm friends with the guys that own it. I'm friends with the guys that work there. And I have been to Vegas 4 times in the last 5 years. And I have not been to PVK Vegas. It always
are you serious?
It always winds up that something happens and we can't go. The first year that Nico and I went, hey, what's up, buddy? Tactical Everyday Dad's here.
Hey, what's up, Tactical Everyday Dad?
So
Garrett?
The first year we were supposed to meet up with my buddy Tino, and then his plans changed because he was out there with his fiance at the time and her family. And we were supposed to go out to PVK Vegas, and then he just got tied up at like that golf thing. Like, what is it? The top shot golf.
Oh, top golf or something.
Yeah, something like that. He got tied up there, and they were closed by the time he got done and everything. But yeah, I just have never made it because I hate Vegas, and walking around in Vegas like after just makes me crazy. It's just too much. I can't stand it. That's when the fact that I'm really, really a country boy just kind of comes out. I'm like, I can't take all this.
Well, we're staying like within reasonable walking distance of PVK.
Yeah.
Like there's walking distance. Like I've actually walked the whole strip down and back and stuff, and that's no fun. It takes forever. It's no fun.
I did it here a couple years ago when my mother-in-law and father-in-law came out. We went.
So Spanky. Yeah, I think it'll be a good time. We're gonna go there early. We're gonna try to get a couple things in. You got to definitely check out Hash House at Go. Get some good grub there as well. I do want to check out. There's a couple range opportunities there, so we're gonna look into that a little bit.
Fire a full auto pew.
Yeah, that's one of the things where it's like I didn't get to do it last time. Last time I went, I was by myself in 2020 and hanging out, and it was one of those things where it's like I ended up getting sick on like Thursday of the week, and so my extra days just went downhill, and I flew back, and yeah, it was not good.
So Snuzz, I actually do like walking around certain areas. Like I'll go for a walk, like out the shopping malls around here. If my wife's shopping, I'll go for a walk. When I take my daughter to the one ice rink that's in a shopping mall, we walk around. It's too crowded. It gets to the point where it's so crowded that I'm like, I'm going to fucking punch somebody.
Yeah. The Old Town. Yeah. I love that. We ate at a Thai food place up there that was incredible. And
Where
then they Fremont, I think it's Fremont Street.
Yeah. Up on Fremont Street.
And the funniest part is we're sitting there eating Thai food, and we're watching.
If you're not careful, you get stabbed in the liver.
Right. But we're watching, they have this like, what are those called? Those slides. Not a slide. You're on the big cable, right?
Oh, zip line.
And they don't have enough height on the zip line because of the street and everything.
Yeah.
And so people are going like halfway down and getting stuck, and then there's like employees on the other side that are like grabbing them with hooks and sliding them, and I'm just like laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is funny.
My daughter wanted to go there and do that, and my father-in-law just wanted to go to Vegas, and so he's Japanese, and we went to Vegas, and he was like, yeah, I don't get it. And I was like, I told you. And so we wound up like, he wanted to go out and do stuff, and we went out one night. They went gambling. We went out one night, ate. And then he was like, I just don't. I was like, do you want to go down to the lobby bar? And he goes, we go down, and he looked at the price of beer, and he goes, he's asking me if there's a store close. And so we just went and got beer. And my father-in-law and I just go all the way to Vegas to sit in a hotel room and him watch Japanese TV on my daughter's phone. And I was like, we could have done this at the house.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Big Red's here now, and so we can talk about the tattoo shops too.
Oh,
we got some good tattoo shops down there.
I got a tattoo. I get stabbed in the liver, and I got hepatitis all in one trip.
What's up, Eggs and Ham? Garrett, what's happening, guys?
What's up, David? What'd Shane say? I spent $1,000 at Battlefield Vegas, not my money winnings.
What's Battlefield? Is that the auto thing we were talking about?
That's probably the range that we were talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the one's just outside the city, right?
I don't
city limits. Yeah,
I don't know.
Awesome.
Here's the thing: I spent enough time at the range when I was in the military that I'm like, hey, let's go to the range. I'm like, just to spend money and not like practice, because if I'm going to go, I'm going to practice with my stuff. And they're like, no, we'll go do this. I'm like, yeah, how about no? I don't have to deal with that. It's expensive.
Midwest Knife Club's here.
Hey, Midwest Knife Club, Ed Harrison. Duke is still here. Spanky. Hi, Spanky. And Darth BMX. I was looking for, what was it? Acid Test Kids or something like that. I don't remember what it was. So, well, I'm not going to stay on here too much longer. I am real tired. That medicine has kicked in, or that they gave me is still keeping me kind of sleepy. So, what have you got? What else you got going on? Just to close it out, you got anything you want to announce that you're doing on your channel?
Anything I want to announce?
He is here. Acid Test Kids is here.
Hey, what's up, Acid Test Kids? Yes, Eggs and Ham. We were talking about SHOT Show and Vegas and things to do. What's up, Paul Windmiller? People jumping in now. You're getting tired.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, we could probably keep it going. Acid Test Kid says he's just been lurking.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for 2022 for me is I'm finally at the point where I'm getting caught up, where I can actually do some of the more fun videos. I had bought some extra knives to, I really enjoyed making the Benchmade bug out video, like, what does it take to break the bug out kind of a thing. And did a bunch of things, drop it off a building, stuff like that. Run it over, stab myself in the hand when I was trying to pry open a rusty paint can. All silly stuff like that, Yeah, it's stuck in, but it's all good. Peter says, did
I send you a link to the video where I stuck the fucking fillet knife all the way through my hand?
Dude, I saw it. Yeah.
I was like, you said prying a paint can. I was like, good. I'm not the only one that stabbed himself in the freaking hand. Cool. Do you know who else sent me a picture and rogered up that they had done it too? Jim Skelton. He's like, oh yeah, did the same thing. He sends me a picture. He goes, yeah, real similar. I was like, good God, I'm not the only one. Okay.
Mine was lucky because it hit right here on the bone. So it just stuck right in. And then I pull it out and I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. And I pause the video, but I left it in there. It's like, that's what I was doing. And I'm like, I was being silly. I wasn't wearing gloves. And, I was basically I took a rusty paint can, I'm like showing that you could take, you could take a bug out. And I was basically going like this. I was holding this paint can and I was going like this. Yeah. And it literally went chook right into my hand. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. And then I come back and I got it all bandaged up. I'm like, all right, let's keep finishing this up,
It probably hurt because Spyderco or Benchmades are famous for not being 100% sharp up at the tip, like being asymmetrical. So it was kind of blunt.
You're right. What's up, Mike Emler? Says Samuel Warrior.
Yeah, Samurai Warrior is here. Let's see. James says he just finished. Jared just finished. So Jared went a little long. So
yeah, I saw he was on there. That's the hard part with me. Like I usually don't get off work till 6 o'clock.
yeah.
And it being Pacific, like, that's, kids are going to bed over on the East Coast, so
yeah, I
kind of rough for us West Coasters.
I had I'm not gonna lie, one of the most fun it's always fun when I have like you, but like my buddy Polly, Purple Heart Barbecue, it's always fun when we have him on. And everybody seems to like having Polly on because he's a fucking nut, and you never know what he's gonna say. That's why it's like walking through a landmine having Polly on your channel. You're like, am I getting demonetized today? I don't know. Let's see what Polly does. But everybody seems to like it. But I had Cole from Tri-State EDC on from. He came. I started my live feed at 8:30 Pacific, so 11:30 there, and he came on right after midnight Eastern, and we wrote it out all the way through midnight, and it didn't seem like it was 4 hours. It was so fast. We had so much fun on that live feed.
That's super cool. I was bummed out because I know we were kind of talking about possibly jumping on with you and stuff, and then it was like all of our plans went all crazy that night. So I was like,
yeah, I had
no availability.
The whole thing was I knew it was. I wanted everybody to Roger up because I wanted to be able to announce it, and that's why I said like I need to know today if you're coming on. Send me a DM, and no one did. But Cole had already answered me because we text I have his phone number, so we text, and I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'll run it by the wife. He said we might come on. I was like, yeah, have your wife on. It'll be fun. And so the entire live feed, he had his voice changer turned off pretty much.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. And everybody was like,
wow.
And so then Polly, my buddy,
hi everybody.
Yeah. So then my buddy Polly was like, hey, have you paid attention to how your buddy there Tri-State laughs? And I was like, what? And he sends me the YouTube clip of the guy that was talking about, he was talking about like, it was Billy Madison. It was the guy who's like, yeah. And then he left and then he did that weasel laugh. And he's like, how's that go again? He's like, and I can't even do it, but like the clip, and he sent it to me. I laughed and I laughed and I laughed because
that's the same guy that plays the butler in Deeds, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Deeds or whatever. Yeah. Okay. What's up, Todd Carr's here as well?
A different old guy.
Oh, okay. Escorted out by Hugh Hefner? What's up with that?
What did we miss? What?
I don't know.
If you did,
somebody got escorted out by Hugh. I was like, whoa.
You would have it said you would have been, and I'm like, what happened? So I'm trying to find where this is coming from.
We missed that. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm not scrolling up that far to try and find it.
What's up, Snuzz? Thank you.
So I saw somebody in here was talking about winning something on nickel slots. When the wife and I went to Vegas, they found out I just came back from a deployment and that we were because we never really had a honeymoon. So when I came back that time, we'd been married for a few years, like 2-3 years. And I was like, let's actually just have a honeymoon. And we went to Vegas and I booked the room. They found out that I had just come back and that I'd been gone for 8 months and that we were having our honeymoon. So they upgraded us to a better room there at the Aladdin, which is now the Planet Hollywood. But my wife won the first night. My wife won like $600 on slots. I want to say I won and lost probably $800 that first night. Just playing roulette. Like I'd win $800 and I'd lose it, but I had a budget and I was like, okay, I won't spend any of this money today. Like we have this much money per day. And it wound up that we won enough that the only thing we paid for the entire trip was the gas at what's that place on the way out? Texas Pete's or some shit. Like Cactus Pete's or something. There's a great big gas station on the way out. That was the only money we spent on the entire trip was the gas we paid for leaving Vegas.
That is awesome.
Still, then my father-in-law hears us talk about how much fun we had. And then when you go, he's like, I don't get it. I'm like, I don't either anymore. But we went in the winter and it was really like, it was really, really empty. Like it was not a crowded Vegas. Yeah. Thanks, Jody.
What's up, Mark H? Whiskey Pete's.
That's what it is. It's whiskey.
There you go.
Buffalo Bills is on your way in. Whiskey Pete's is on your way out. Thing. And it's the largest Bills. Chevron station in the world. Fucking thing's big. I ain't gonna lie. It's huge. I think that's what it is. I think Whiskey Pete's might be on the way in, and then Buffalo Bill's on the way out. I don't remember, but there's like there's like a hotel with an amusement park that has a roller coaster and shit. And on our way through, anytime I've ever went through, I've never seen those roller coasters running.
Oh, really? They've all been safety shut down.
Are you guys flying? Or are you going to drive?
Oh, I'm not driving. Man, the passes right now are crazy. They shut down like 3 of the passes that go from Portland to like Eastern and Southern Oregon.
Well, and I forget that you're
just because they got like 3-4 feet of snow in the last weekend, and then snow drifts are like 12-14 feet.
Yeah, I heard that, and then I heard about all the stuff in Virginia because I got a buddy that lives out there, and I was like, "You're not stuck like stranded out on the interstate, are you?" He goes, "No." He's like, "But I would have been because I was going to be on my way to work." And he's like, "I saw it, and I called him. I was like, there's no way I'm coming in today." Because he's got like I think he has like an hour commute to work, and he was like, "I would have been in that shit," and I was like, "Oh dear." So
Shane's doing some education on what is and what is not tax deductible.
I mean, here's the thing. It's all on how you justify it.
I don't know. I've never seen anybody justify that, but
really?
Cheers.
You've never hung out with a military member with a per diem card like that you have to use like your government travel card, because I've seen them justify some shit. I'm like, bro, I know that was a lap dance. And he goes, "I was eating dinner."
What's up, Andrew? Yeah, that's a good dinner.
Yeah, he's
dinner and a show.
Most snow at
Snoqualmie.
I can't pronounce that. Pass in 20 years. Yeah, but it's global warming. That's what did it. I don't know if I can start that shit, and I'll have flat earthers and fucking all that shit starting. So
yeah, no. So I'm gonna fly, definitely. Fly down there, fly back. It's it's only a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
So it's pretty quick just to jump down there, jump back, and that way, because here's the thing, like, depending on like if we're down in California or something else, we had thought about that with the way things are going with like flights and everything else. Like, well, what if it gets canceled? I'm like, either way, we're close enough that you just rent a car and go. It'd probably take you a day and a half to drive back, or you could just rally and do 16 hours straight. But this is one of those things,
I've made so many, like I drove from basically where I'm at now, because we were over at Imperial Beach, which is just around the corner from my house. I drove from here to Astoria the one time. You know where I'm talking about?
North Astoria, Oregon?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had to do it straight through because we were driving with weapons.
Just take the 101 all the way?
Huh?
Take 101 all the way up?
Yeah, it was a long drive, and we got stopped somewhere up near Sacramento by a state trooper, and he wanted us to open up the container, and I'm like, I can't break that seal. I mean, he's like, "We're gonna break that seal." I was like, "I am not breaking that seal," and I'm armed and everything. And I was like, "I already told you it was in. This is my bill lading." I was like, "Here's our invoices." I was like, "We're all armed because we are hauling an entire trailer full of firearms." He's like, "Well, I've got to see them," and I was like, "No, you don't." And his supervisor showed up, and he was like, "What's going on here?" And I was like, "He wants me to break that serialized. Like, if I get there and the serial number on that seal does not match the serial number that's on this log, I go to fucking prison."
Yeah.
And he was looking at this guy. He's like, "You're an idiot. Get out of here." He's like, "You guys take off." He's like, "Fucking, how long have we held you up?" And I was like, 45 minutes. He's like, "Well, please don't speed trying to make it up." And I was like, "I'm going to speed in a dually Chevy with a great big trailer full of fucking weapons." Yeah.
You get the supervisor shows up. "Nothing to see here."
He's like, he looks at him. He's like, "You're an idiot. Get back in your car and get out of here." He's like, "Boys, pack it up and hit the road." And I was like, "Thank you, sir." Was this Walt said? Snow tomorrow in West Kentucky, not that much, but 4 to 6 inches, which will paralyze the area.
Mm-hmm.
We had some snow in Ohio where my mom and dad, or where my mom is right now, and she was saying that it got pretty bad, but then it kind of just went away, and it rained, and everything melted. And she was afraid it was going to freeze, like you get an ice storm, but it didn't. It kind of just it just melted. But they had snow in Japan. My daughter got to see snow in the mountains of Japan for New Year's.
That's cool.
They had snow. It was pretty fun.
That's really cool. I chuckle because of Sinister's comment. I had a visual depiction of what he was referencing on his comment, and I'm like, oh
what did he say? Who did?
Sinister.
Always. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Duke, that is uncalled for. That's why we're friends.
That's the weirdest thing. Like Andrew just said the same thing in Tennessee about how people were freaking out with that, and it's like that happens in Portland, you know. And you go just over the mountain, you know, you go about 3-4 hours over the mountain in Portland, go east, and you're in Central Oregon or something where they got snow all the time, and it's like it's no big deal. It's just life, you know. But you go to the metro area, and it's like, you know, you get 2 to 4 inches of snow in the metro area, and it's just like gridlock, and everybody just stops.
Because it's a city. It always happens in the city, even in Chicago. Like Chicago's not as bad as some places, but like Chicago gets shut down with a good snowstorm. You're like, it snows all the time, but it's just being in the city and the crowding and all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I was talking with a friend of mine. I live way closer to the ocean now than I did, and we would get fog every once in a while at our old house, but we were like 8 miles further away from the ocean. So in Ohio, we always, like, Ohioans and people from back east and in the Midwest and stuff, we always like pick on people from like Southern California because they think what they know is snow when they get like an inch or two down here and everybody goes up to the mountains and plays in it. But they've never really seen snow. And when they realize what real snow is like, you're like, good God, that's a lot of snow. Here, it's fog. Like we don't like I told my sister, I was like, growing up, we got fog, but we never got fog like it's here. Like I'd never seen fog like this until here, living out here until right before it got cold for that snap. You would literally not be able to see the streetlights. Like I was like, how do people drive in this? And you would go outside and there was so much moisture in air, it would make you cough. You're like, I can't breathe. It's like breathing through a wet rag. I can't imagine San Diego with 2 inches of rain. I can because until I think I told you guys this in the chat, Zach, it has basically rained almost every day since the beginning of December. Like it's
really
like constantly. And if it wasn't raining, it was misting, and then it would pick right back up again. The nice thing is I haven't had to run my sprinklers at all this week.
See, that's so wild. You're like talking about sprinklers. It's like 37 and raining here for the last couple of days.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was the other night. I was telling Polly when we were on the phone. I was like, man, I put on a jacket. It's fucking cold. He's like, oh, you're in San Diego. It's cold. I'm in Chicago. I was like, yeah, but it was early, and I was like, Polly, it's only 37 degrees here right now. And he was like, all right, for San Diego, that's pretty cold. So yeah, we've had some weird weather. It's been pretty cold and wet this winter, which I dig it. Like I said, my water bill goes down, and I don't have to run my sprinklers. So, but what do we got here? I lived there for 18 months, but never rained. Moved to Texas. It rained for 3 months. You'll go spells where, Zach, you've never lived down here, have you? In San Diego?
No, just vacation.
There's been times where I'm like, you sit back and you're like, man, it hasn't rained in like 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
Or longer. And then what you'll get is like, you'll get a scenario like this where it basically rains for a month straight. So
that's weird down there, isn't it?
Yeah. That's Walt was saying, because the last time we had a really, really wet winter like this, they had just redone the food court at the Navy Exchange at 32nd Street Naval Base.
Mm-hmm.
And Naval Base San Diego had redone this whole food court, and they had not tested the roof, and it rained for like a couple weeks, and they had to close the brand new food court they had just finished. because it was just like literally leaking like a sieve. Oh God, that thing's hideous.
You don't like it?
I hate those things.
Why?
Because
this is another one of the knives that Peter loaned me, and I'll tell you what, it's super thin. It's titanium.
It is.
It's got that big blade.
It's okay. Too bad I don't have it here. Oh, I do have a knife that I can compare it to. I'll show you. It's got a weird. What I don't like about it is the sweep of the blade. It's a lot like the Hoback Quayback. I don't like that. I don't like that blade angle sweeping back. The what was it? It was the the TS305, the Two Sons TS305 had that same weird angle from the pivot, where from the pivot to the tip, it goes back instead of like curving down. I prefer to have the knife angled down and address the, you know what I'm saying? Like I would much rather not have it sweep way up that much.
I don't know. It's kind of cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I guarantee there's a lot of people that have scenarios where they would like that and carry that. The same with this. Like, you see how it's got that weird sway back to it where it just looks like
it's Peter said it's a Spyderco thing. Okay.
It's not a Spyderco thing.
I'm just kidding.
It's not. I mean, because if it had a different angle to it, I think that'd be a really good blade. I changed the tip on Bobby DeMarco's from over at the Knife Junkie podcast. I modified the blade shape on his and sharpened it. And I'm like, it's not a bad blade. And in certain settings, I imagine it would be really good. You know what it would probably be really good for is if you were outside, if you were outdoors and you were hunting, you'd be able to
cut and pull through
like skin an animal and stuff like that. It would probably come in real handy for like meat processing in the field. I can see that, but it's just like for what I carry a knife for, that's not something. I have knives for that. I have knives specific purpose made for that. And so it just would not be something that I would want in a folding knife when I have so many other items. Was this Polly's back? So, Jesus, most people I've seen.
What's up, Polly?
Mike's live stream. No, we've definitely had times where we had more.
Hey, Marcos, I'll hit you up. Definitely, I'll hit you up. He's going to give me some insider scoops on some places to try out when we're down in Vegas.
There's a lot of places. I got some recommendations from some friends when I was going. I was like, here's the thing. I'm much better off if I just don't leave the hotel. Like if I'm going for a show, you can ask Nico. He's like, what do you want to go do? I was like, whatever we can do that's in the hotel. Because I don't want to have to go out on the street with that many people. I was like,
yeah, but see, what now, how's your feeling if you like go out to the drive, outside the lobby, and then, get an Uber or Lyft or something and you go somewhere?
I can get away with that. I went with my daughter. We walked all over Vegas and we watched the fountains and all that stuff. But like, it's when it gets to be nighttime. I'm good with it during the day, early evening. It's when it's just nuts and it's crazy and it's crowded and you can barely walk down the sidewalk and there's people trying to sell you drugs and there's people trying to sell you chicks and there's guys it's just ridiculous. And it just drives me, and I get frustrated. I get upset because it's just too claustrophobic. And I get to the point where I'm literally about ready to hit someone.
They do the like 10,000th card flip at you.
I just can't stand it. So I'm a lot better. The likelihood of me getting arrested is a lot less if I'm in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like that.
See, that's a G10 Griptilian.
Yeah, I like the Griptilian.
Foot. My blade comes up a little bit too, though.
It does, but it's not as upswept. You know what I mean?
Not as pronounced.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I like a lot of the Mel Purdue designs.
That's another thing you mentioned, Mel. So that was one of the other really cool things about SHOT Show in 2020 is, a lot of, manufacturers, a lot of, companies brought people in to draw attention. Mm-hmm. And one of the places, Benchmade brought Mel Purdue in for one of the days, and stuff like that. And so being able to literally chat with him just about random stuff was awesome.
I never got to talk to him. I did get the email with him before. And he seems like
take care, Brian. Mm-hmm.
Brian's gone. Brian, take it easy, Brian.
So that was really cool, to meet people like that, you'll never probably have the opportunity to meet in person, just because like Mel, he doesn't do a lot of shows.
No.
He doesn't, do a lot of stuff, but they were like, hey, we're going to bring him in. He's going to be one of our guests for the day. That was pretty cool to do that.
That's why I try to, like, the same thing with like I love Bob Truzzola. Like Bob is like, I love that dude. He is one of the sweetest old dudes you'd ever want to meet. And there's just so much knowledge. Like when I had him on the 24-hour knife rights thing. And I'm kind of getting to a point where I talk to Bob like all the time, because I recognize the fact Bob's fucking 76, almost 77. And I'm like, it kind of feels, and I was, my sister watched that live feed. She goes, you know why? And I was like, why? She's like, that's our grandfather. And I thought back on it, I was like, he does. He talks and acts and kind of sounds just like my grandfather did when I was growing up. And she's like, that's why. And I'm like, oh, cool. So, I mean, I talk to Bob pretty much weekly. Just
cool.
Yeah. Bob Truzzola, old man Bob. Polly leaving? All right. Later, Polly.
But that was also one of the first times that, I had a good opportunity to sit down and talk with, like Doug Ritter for like an hour and a half,
Doug said he would come on the podcast, and I just haven't had a chance to get him pinned down, because every time we get ready to say and set it up, he's like, oh, well, that week doesn't work for me. I was like, well, I can't do it. And it's just because he is so fucking busy, because Knife Rights is basically just him. Yeah.
Well, and then the weird part is like, they even had like celebrity people of certain, genres that were there, like they had, Hoist Gracie was there, doing autographs and those kind of things. He's like a jiu-jitsu, master.
Yeah, he was the original UFC, the old school one, like when I was just coming out of high school and just joining the Navy.
Yeah, and then like 511 brought Doug Marcaida in, and I stumbled upon that. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'm in line, walking through. Doug Marcaida. Yeah. But and then literally I sit down, because they have like a little cafe there kind of thing.
Yeah.
They set up kind of like a cafeteria thing, and then there's all these tables where you can sit down and eat. And so, I got a sandwich, and I sat down, and like I said, I was by myself.
And Anthony's rolling out.
Oh, take care, Ted.
Every day.
Anthony, Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Take care. And then Ed's here. What's up, Ed? But like literally when I sat down for lunch on I think it was on like Wednesday or something, I look over and there's 2 tables full of guys against this wall where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
And they all look like undercover security is what when I saw them, that's what I looked.
It was all of his students.
Well, no, and then I was like, who are they with, right? And then the one person they're with, I looked at his name, because everybody's got a little name tag that hangs from their neck, And so I look at his name tag, and I'm like, but then I look at him, and I'm like, that's not him on the name tag. But I look at the face, and I'm like, that's Chuck Liddell. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. So I went to the table closest to me where there's these 3 big dudes all eating lunch and, keeping an eye out on everybody. And I'm like, hey, is Chuck cool with people talking to him? He's like, oh yeah, man. So I went over, chatted with him and stuff. And it was just kind of funny, because it's like, you just see random people. And I was talking to him, and I'm like, oh, are you doing an appearance? And he goes, no, I'm coming here for some new stuff that one of these companies is rolling out and blah, blah, blah. And he's really big into some of those range things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh, okay.
Like he's on Donut Operator and like some of those other, like the AK guy, some of those channels, the big pew pew channels. So I wanted to pull this up. First of all, Double D, I did get your DM, and I haven't answered back, because I'm probably just going to have you call me on the business number. And then, so yeah, Shane said Bob damn near shut down the comments section. We just sat there wide eyed and said, like, it's unusual for it to be quiet in my live feeds. It's usually a lot of like just everyone talking. And Bob Truzzola, it was just like story time with Bob. We were all just sitting there like no one was talking.
Oh yeah, I was sitting there watching it too.
Yeah, like the comment section stopped. They were like, "That's Bob Truzzola," and I had told David, I had told Eggs and Ham, just told him that I was going to, I thought maybe Bob had stopped by, but I wasn't sure. But I had not let Sharif Manganis know. And when I brought Bob Terzola up, you saw his face. He's like,
yeah.
That's fucking Bob Terzola. Yeah, calm down.
It's so funny.
So, well, I am going to end this. Zach, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a lot of fun. Guys, thanks for hanging out for a couple hours.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's, like I said, man, anytime. It's great chatting. I actually appreciate you going a little later so I can get home, get some dinner, and it fell in with your normal time. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but the whole point of it was because Jared has done so much to help the channel, and we share a lot of subscribers. So the whole point was doing it at 7:30. He usually ends at 9:30 on Wednesdays. And so it was just kind of perfect. I'd be like, yeah, hey, I'm fucking going at 7:30. And a lot of times he would stop in and he'd come up and he'd talk for a little bit. And so it was just, it made sense if he was going to end at 9:30 or at 7:30 my time, 9:30 his time. It just made sense for me to wait. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but Kevin Kirk says Zach for president.
Oh, and by the way, Eggs, I'm going to get a hold of you so we can finish up our deal. We got a little deal going on for SHOT Show, so get some good content in.
There can't be anything good come from that.
All sorts of good stuff can come from that.
Can't be anything good for that. So, yeah, guys, if you don't already follow Zach's channel, you probably should. I'm going to get off of here because, like I said, I haven't eaten anything, and it's 9:30 at night. I literally have eaten nothing today. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I probably should eat something before I go to bed. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. No, hey, I appreciate it. You guys have a great Happy New Year. Do something kind for someone. I appreciate it, Mike.
Or if you look at my pouch, my sticker, my little patch, like his is do something kind for someone, and mine says fuck everyone. So, guys, I will talk to you later. Shane, I'm gonna send you a text here in a minute. So a DM if you're still up. I will talk to you in a little bit. Guys, I love y'all. I'm gonna end this. Take it easy. Shane or Zach, thanks for stopping by again. I always like when you come by.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Yep. Take it easy.